Is English 151 a bad investment? Let's look at the numbers. So the English version of 151 has been out for about 3 months now, and the hype is finally starting to die down. And I think it's a really good time to take a look at this set, take a step back and assess the investability, right? What kind of options do we have? Is it a waste of money, or is it somewhere where you could perhaps see some potential gains? So when assessing the investability of the set, I like to look at the singles, and then I like to look at the sealed product, so the market for the singles and the sealed. Ultimately, sealed product, the value of that is always going to be intrinsically tied to the value of the singles within a set. So they're kind of like stocks and index funds. So I'll give you some projections, I'll tell you where I think things are going, and hopefully give you some advice that saves you some money. Before we do that, let's take a look at how this set was received. So I think it's pretty safe to say that people liked 151, both in Japanese and in English. It was an incredibly hyped up set. It brought so many fans back into the hobby, and please diehard fans at the same time. It took me back to those simpler days spent looking for Mew underneath a truck, and I had a great time completing the master set. So people are going to always come back to this set for sure. It's a great one for nostalgia and for the future. The big elephant in the room, or big Don fan, I guess, in the room, is the print runs. Now, Pokemon are printing more cards than ever before, we know that. When this set first came out, I heard that it was going to be short printed. I had to laugh. A lot of clickbait articles saying, oh, it's going to be short printed. Well, they printed a lot of it already. The question is, will they print more? And to answer this, you have to really think, like, with the Poke metaverse splitting off into kind of different strands, there's an office somewhere where these Pokemon executives are trying to decide, should we print more of this set? And it goes into kind of two streams of reality. The first one is where these guys in the office say, you know what, we marked a special moment in time with this set. It's incredible. We've done everything we can. It's time for us to give back to our investors, to our Pokemon card investors. Let's stop the printers. Let's focus on these new sets and do a great job there. That's reality number one. Reality number two is where they say, look, profits are up, we've made an absolute cash cow here, and we are going to continue to milk it until people do not want it anymore. So I know which reality we are living in. I don't know if you do, but yeah, they're going to keep printing this set. It'll go the same way as Crown Zenith. We'll see a big dump, I think, around Black Friday this year, 2024. So as loved as it is, the print runs are really going to dent the values. But anyway, let's look at the marketplace on some of the top chase cards in the set. So right now we've got something quite interesting happening. I'm looking at this chart here and I'm saying, this is the last 3 months. So this doesn't actually take into account the initial few days of release where you had that sky high first few people buying the set. Buying these singles at the highest point. It's actually cut that off, which I like. It takes off that extreme edge that a lot of people like to sensationalize. So Blastoise right now, he's down, this big Blastoise, 17%. Zapdos down only 2%. Venusaur is up 2%. And the Alakazam card is down 5%. And the reason I think this is interesting is because, first of all, you're not just seeing those dropping off a cliff kind of graphs that you've seen from previous sets with those big chase cards. You're actually seeing some healthy resistance levels here early on. Now, as the more is printed, I do expect these to come down, but that's an interesting one to look at. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, well, Rob, you're missing one really important card here, and you're not wrong. It's, of course, Charizard, the big daddy. He's the top chase card in the set. I absolutely love Charizard. I always will. There is a bit of Charizard fatigue, like, 20 cards of Charizard going out last year or something crazy. But from a value standpoint, even though he's up, technically he's just a smidgen up, just less than 1% for the year. It's just kind of underwhelming for me. This is the top chase card in the set, and it's $120 3 months later. From an investing standpoint, that is just really not great. If you're looking for a barnstormer of a Charizard, look at this one right here. Up 40%, and I put the full graph on here. So even the right at release. This is my favorite Charizard in the set, just to kind of give you a bit of background here. Friggin' love this card. It's got all of Charizard in it. You can see his face. He just looks like a friggin' beast. Like this could be the top chase card in the set in a little while. Speaking of top chase cards, the second most expensive card is actually a stamped Squirtle promo which is kind of indicative of how Scarlet and Violet era has gone so far. There's just so much being printed that the market is looking for any kind of edge. And in this case, it's the Squirtle that you would have got if you'd ordered the Ultra Premium Collection from PokemonCenter.com. And a fun fact, this card on a PSA 10 right now is actually worth about $10 more than the PSA 10 SIR Charizard. Quick waifu watch for you, Erica's Invitation. She's down 41%. Stay away from these waifus, guys, especially in English. You got burned by Miriam, you got burned by Iono from Paldea Evolved this year. Personally, I think this is a dark part of the hobby. This whole idea of waifuing up an underage gym leader, I am not here for it, so I don't like them as investments. So to summarize, you've got some cards that are holding their own, but I don't see great value here over the long term. You could say, yeah, there's so much more demand for these cards, there's so much more people into the hobby. I don't really buy that. I mean, just to give you some context, the PSA 10 version of that Charizard SIR card, there's already more PSA 10s than there are of the Latios and Latias, the tag team card. There's already more. And we're 3 months or so in, there's going to be so much more of that card. So I don't see value there from a graded standpoint either. I'm bringing up Moonbryon here because, you know, I love putting Moonbryon on a slideshow. The reason I am is because this card was, it was $200 within 3 months of its release. Look at Rayquaza, same thing. Look at the Giratina from Lost Origins, same kind of story. Gengar from Fusion Strike, you know, he took a bit longer to get there, but he's a $200 plus card most of the time. Do you really see the 151 cards getting there? You know, maybe the Squirtle stamp promo, but I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. So from a value standpoint, it's just not there for me on the singles. So I would say hold off on these. It is a bad time to be investing in singles. It's a great time to be a collector, ripping packs. You know, kids getting into the hobby. I love that, but the singles market is not great. So what about sealed? Before we get into sealed, I just want to say, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. Please, I'm trying to build something here. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, as you can probably tell. It would mean the world to me if you could subscribe and support my content and, you know, help me out a little bit here. So sealed products. So I'm going to look at kind of the big three products, the Ultra Premium Collection, the Elite Trainer Box, and the Booster Bundles. I'm not going to talk about the poster set and the binder and the jumbo card stuff. I have a couple for storage. Sorry, I have a couple for display. They're just terrible for storage. Like I don't like them as investments. You know, cupboard space runs out quick when you're collecting Pokemon cards, especially if you're just keeping boxes. So as I mentioned, that the value of sealed is always going to be intrinsically tied to the value of the singles within that set, which I don't think are going to the moon anytime soon. That being said, I do think there are some opportunities here to make some money, but it's going to be all about the entry point. And when I go through these next couple of bits, I want you to really think about getting the product for as cheap as possible, because ultimately that's the gain. If we're not going to have huge, that's the aim. If we're not going to have huge gains, then we need to make sure we're maximizing that entry point. And history does repeat itself. You know, we are going to see the same thing that happened with Crown Zenith Elite Trainer Boxes, for example, happen around Black Friday this year. You'll be able to pick that Crown Zenith box up for somewhere around $35 at big box stores, less with the TikTok sellers and the crazy kind of deals that are out there. But yeah, just wait and be patient. So I'll try and help you out on that one right now. So first of all, the UPC, absolutely love this box. They really put together a sick box. It's currently about $98 according to TCG Player. My buy target on this is 85 because look at what happened with the Charizard UPC. I actually got some Charizard UPCs in August last year for $110 Canadian with a special coupon at Walmart, and it's like $82, $83 US. Crazy. I've seen people get them for even less. So just wait. My price target on this is 150. It is not going to the moon, but if you can double your money on that almost, that would be great. I would like to see that. The Snorlax ETB, this is the iconic product for the set. That's maybe why you click the thumbnail. It's $41 on TCG Player. My buy target is 35 on this, probably around Black Friday, Thanksgiving. Just kind of wait. If you're going to buy this in any serious quantity, wait on it. I don't love ETBs from an investment standpoint. They just print so many of them. So my price target is $65 on this one. The Pokemon Center Stamped ETB, will this be the future of investing? For holiday sets, they're probably a good shout, but they are a little harder to get. So don't go paying crazy prices. It's like 94 bucks on TCG Player. It has come down substantially since release as well, I would point out. My 5-year target on that's 175. Try and buy it when they do another wave. They usually do a couple of waves of these PC ETBs. Booster bundles. Booster bundles are my favorite. I really like these booster bundles. I think they're a nifty product, and the storage is really good. They are very compact. The closest thing you can get to booster boxes in 151. Don't pay the crazy scalper prices. TCG Player says about 38. They're $45 on Walmart.com last time I checked. Don't pay that. Target have them in. Target the store have them in every now and again. I think I see things on Reddit or Instagram for like 30 bucks. That's a good price. I would say try and get in there. My price target, that's 160. I think people like this product. And if you can get the box that has what, like 12 of them in or whatever, oh god, that'll be one that people look at in the future for sure. So what's the verdict on this set? Is it a waste of money? No, it's not a waste of money. People love this set. They're gonna come back to it in the future. But there's just been so much of it printed that really does take a huge bite out of the value. So wait on the singles. Wait on singles, see where that goes. Look for the best entry points on the sealed product and just sit on your hands, okay? I will say as well, there are better investments out there, guys. That there are far better investments right now. The Japanese version of this set for one, and I just did a video on shiny treasures as well. So, you know, I'll pop a link up to that. That's a good investment as well. So, yeah, I'm on Instagram too, Rob Does Pokemon, if you want to check me out there. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I will make another video next week, I promise. Take it easy.